Showed you this before in another video, but it's probably been at least a month. This probably takes about as much time as working on the car, because you know there's no end to what you need to be doing in a garden. Talked to some guy, an old Italian guy, not long ago, that said there's an old Italian saying that says if you have a garden, you need a dead man, which is an old world way of saying, you know, somebody that never leaves. So anyway, here's what the garden looks like right now. These are all onions and garlic, up to the beans down there, more over here. I just cut all the tops off 2 days ago, because supposedly that makes, when you do that, the tops were probably 3 feet tall, most of them, a lot of them. When you do that, it puts more energy into the bulb itself getting bigger. And the carrots are about, I pulled a couple last night, and one of them was at least 10 inches long. The other one was kind of goofy. It had like 3 legs on it. Oh, but anyway, like I said, this is what the garden looks like right now. You see a variety of tomatoes that are half the size of other tomatoes because they were planted much later. You know, this stuff kind of, people give it to you, or you start seeds or what have you, and so the timing isn't all the same, but that's good because that spreads the harvest. This is all peppers. You see this row here with all these white pieces of PVC. That the PVC acts as a support once they get tall enough, big enough. Cucumbers over here in the cages. They're lemon cucumbers. One of my granddaughters loves those. There's some more. Lettuce. We've been giving this away right along now. It's really good because it's fresh. Obviously, when you pick it and you eat it the same day. Basil. Those are I can't remember. Leek is what always comes to mind, but that's not correct. They're not leek. You see, they're going to seed. So they seed themselves. They keep coming up every year. More beans. These are Italian string beans, the green, the long string beans, and those are the most developed tomatoes. These are the first ones I planted. These are a variety. Each one is a different variety. There's 4 of them here that were bought as plants from Home Depot, seedlings from Home Depot. So these are probably, I'm going to guess they're about 3 months old. A little more basil that got transplanted, some more lettuce that got transplanted because they were too close where I originally planted them. See the tomatoes that are happening here. Nothing red yet, but there's a few of them on there. That's good. More beans. These I started from seed inside. I put them under the grow light, and then once they were 8 or 10 inches tall, planted them out here, which is not the way I usually do it. But remember, there was fava beans growing here, so I was kind of trying to make the best of my time. So I had the seedlings started inside while the favas were still planted here. Anyway, some eggplant over there on the end, and some smaller peppers that I just planted last week. Transplanted last week. Anyway, that's my garden. Forgot to mention the pumpkins. It's funny, these things do this every day. You notice the leaves are all drooped over like they're don't have any water, but that's what they do every day. When the sun goes away, they'll all look normal again. You see, that's not dry. It's wet. I wet it. I soaked those yesterday. So that's a big leaf. So when it gets sun, and it doesn't get that hot right here either, but right now it's 12 o'clock, the sun's straight up. You can see we're getting some flowers and some melons starting there. These are 2 varieties, the Cinderella variety, the round flat ones, and the normal variety, the round ones. You know, they're round both directions. So anyway, you see, here we go. All right, well there. Well, it's I don't know what time, roughly 7:30 p.m. June 30th. Welcome back to the Blue Heinz garage. As you can see, over the weekend, made some decent progress on making this thing look like a car again. As of Saturday afternoon, we had this fender on, which was a learning process, never having done this, either one of us ever having done this before. And you know, they've got all this fresh air ducts and stuff like that that go in there, so it's a bit, there's some online information which we used and it worked out well. So thanks whoever put that up there. I forgot what shop it is the two guys work for that put one or two or three of these together, and the guy had a little video showing how he does this, and we followed his example and it worked quite well. Alloways, I think. They work for Alloways, a father-son team. And then I got this one ready alone yesterday. My son helped me put that one on. I got this one ready yesterday, and yesterday afternoon, actually yesterday evening, I tried putting it on after doing that one. You know, learning experience doing that one. I had some ideas and used those on this, and it went together quite well, even alone. And then today what I did is a little adjustment. So I've got these where this one's the better of the two. It's a little hard to tell with all the tape here, just the protective tape there. It's a little hard to tell the gaps, but I think they're adjusted pretty well. What I don't know at this point is how the hood's going to fit between the two of them. Because right now they're lined up with the outside of the fenders, the outside of the doors. And since I've readjusted both doors, I don't know for sure how that's going to compare with how they were before. This one's a little different. This one's got a little bigger gap right here. And like I said, until I put the hood everywhere else, I mean, the height is good. Actually, it's a tiny bit high, it feels like, over here. No, it's okay. It's good right all over here. You know, and you can't really have it one height here and well, you can have it a bit of a different height here, but that's pretty good there. And I like the gap on the door, and the gap at the back of the two doors is about the same, so it's not like, you know, this door is pushing that fender forward, because the gap on the back of this door is about the same as the gap on the back of the door on the other side. So, you know, you're kind of limited to what you can do. And I do believe that rear quarter was replaced. So there could be a difference. This body may not be the way it came out, you know, jig built the way it came out of the factory. But at any rate, we'll do the best we can. So like I said, at this point, I need to get up there. The hood's up on the loft. So two things have to happen. I have to figure out how to get it down without having an army of people over here. And I might figure out a way of using that. Move the hood over closer to that and then lower it with that. That may be, because you notice the bumper's up there too, and that's how the bumper got up there, because that damn thing must weigh 100 pounds if it weighs a pound. So I might figure out a way of harnessing the hood and lowering it with the come along, or whatever you want to call that. Chain falls. If I can do it without wrecking the hood, scratching, chipping, whatever the hood. So anyway, that's the latest on the Blue Heinz project. Okay, really happy with the progress so far. I think it's going to be okay. As long as the hood fits in between the two fenders, we're home free. And you can't tell, obviously, but the cherry picker is gone from there because it is, right now, I just finished moving it. It is in the back of my truck. Getting ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to go over to my storage. I have a 2-car garage that I use for storage behind one of my rentals. And I'm going to use the cherry picker to go pick up. Sorry about all the, I'm going as slow as I can here. to go pick up the motor that is stored over there, that is going to be used on the next project. And no, I'm not abandoning this one in favor of the other one, but I have one empty unit over there now. It's a good time for me to go over to the rental since it's only half occupied right now, and do some stuff that I need to do, such as pick up that motor. I'm going to go grab that motor out of that storage, put it in the truck, and bring it home. Then I'm going to store it under that table over there because it's on one of those roll-around stands. So this motor is another 283. It has a long story. I'll tell you that story one of these times. But it's a 283 that was freshened up. You know, you lose track of time. I'm going to say it was freshened up 6-7 years ago, probably. Put on the test stand, run on the test stand, taken off the test stand, put on one of those roll-around stands, and it's over at storage. I want to put it back on the test stand so I can run it again. I don't like the idea of leaving it sit too long. So like I said, it's been run. It's got, you know, it's got oil in it. It had coolant in it, but I mean, it's got oil in it. It's all been run. It's not just assembly lube. It's been run. So, but I do want to start. It's been sitting long enough now that I'm starting to be concerned about, you know, how long it's sitting there idle. So I want to run it again, and that's the plan. I'm going to bring it home. I'm going to put it back on the test stand. And when I have some time, I'm going to, you know, complete the motor, put the distributor's in it, the carburetor's on it, it's all ready to go. I just need to put exhaust manifolds on it, hook it up to the coolant, hook up the wiring to it, you know, and it should start right back up again, assuming that the carburetor isn't full of gelled gasoline. And I'm sure we ran it dry when we ran it the last time. So anyway, that's the plan. And I'll show you more when there's more to show you. I'm going to put a couple of little gardening clips on here. In fact, I'm going to go show you one right now, real quickly. I took one. I'm going to put one at the beginning of this. You've already seen it. When you hear me saying this, you have already seen the one that I filmed 2 weeks ago. I'm going to go show you a up to the moment progress on that same area in the garden. So hang on, we're almost there. Okay, for starters, there's what the pumpkins have done. You see there's actually some melons started on there. There's the biggest, I think, of them. Okay, there's another one there. Another one there. And then the other side, which is all the vegetables. Actually, we've been harvesting. We've been having fresh lettuce out of here. You notice I topped all the onions, and that was 2 weeks ago too. And you see they've doubled in size, a lot of them, since I topped them 2 weeks ago. The sprouts on the top, you know, the whatever you call that part. Supposedly you cut them down like I did, you top them all off, and it makes the bulbs, puts more energy into the bulbs, so the bulbs get bigger. Here's some of the lettuce that was transplanted probably a month ago from the patch over there where I had too much of it, so I just transplanted the excess over here. The cucumbers finally came up, and you notice the tomatoes, those two on the end right next to the cucumber plant, I started from seeds. The others right behind those, someone else started from seeds. Gave them to my wife. There's a whole row of Italian peppers here. Your long red, long green, and if you leave them long enough, red Italian peppers. These are more cucumbers. These are the lemon cucumbers. There's actually 4 plants here, I think, of lemon cucumbers. Like I say, one of my granddaughters loves these. More lettuce, and you see what's happening here to the lettuce. It's going nuts. It's going to seed. It's bolting. It's that right there, that's 2 feet tall. More, it's about 30 inches tall. And this stuff is called Giant Black Seed Simpson. Never heard of it, but it's good. And there's some romaine. Like you say, we've harvested almost all of this. Look at the basil. My wife picked a whole bunch of this two days ago, and it looks like it's untouched. I actually planted way more than I need, but I always do that because I like it's fun giving it away. Italian string beans. More tomatoes. These are the biggest. These are what I bought at the store. There's 4 plants here. Different. I forgot. I think I have one better boy and 3 variety of different kind of beef this or beef that. You know, I thought, well, those will probably make big tomatoes, good for tomato salad. So or hamburgers. So I bought those varieties. Anything that said beef. I mean, you can see these things. These cages that they're growing in are 4.5 feet tall, and you can see the plants sticking out of it. Almost a foot there. And almost a foot there. I think this is the better boy. More string beans. Love the Italian string beans. These are roughly a month old. So I haven't seen any actual beans on here yet, but a lot of foliage. Onions, garlic, more onions, carrots. And that's the garden. So anyway, enough of that. Talk to you later. Stay safe, everyone. Please comment, like and comment. I'd like to hear what you think. I'm not monetized, so none of that matters to me as far as YouTube and monetization, and I don't get enough views to deal with all of that, so I'm just doing this for the fun of it. All right, talk at you later. Bye.